To the Chicago Bulls after 6 seasons. The Bulls made clear that the organization wanted Donovan back after making sweeping changes to their front office, but Donovan held an option in his contract for next season and elected to step down after extensive meetings with team ownership in the last week, sources said. Donovan determined he wanted to give the team a clean break. Gotta be honest, Wilbon, and Perk is back here with us. I don't know that I am shocked by this news. What's your reaction?
Not shocked. I didn't understand why the Bulls, first of all, I don't understand why the Bulls have made any of the decisions they've made in the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, you look at the playoffs right now, and you see Ayo Dosunmu in this starring support role for Minnesota, and you gave him away for a ham sandwich. You know, you look at Denny Avdia. You look at him, and the Bulls were prepared to take him. Should have taken him. The scouts said, take him. No, we're going to take Patrick Williams, and we're going to double down on a dumb draft decision by giving him $95 million a few years later. So they've made one stupid decision after another, which had nothing to do really with Billy Donovan. I mean, I think I have liked Billy Donovan as coach, but it seemed, Shay, and we are Chicagoans. We follow this team closely. Time had just come and gone for Billy. I don't know that he was making any difference that was positive. Again, I am not putting the blame on Billy Donovan for that series of personnel decisions and what the Bulls are facing in that. AK made those decisions, Karnisovas, and was fired as a result and should have been. Now we deal with the Billy Donovan of it all, which is sort of separate.
Yeah.
Was Billy going to make a difference? How was he going to make a difference with this next set of players? We don't even know where they're going. We have no idea. What are the Bulls on, a 5-year plan? So Billy Donovan's been there 6 years. He's going to have 5 more before they're competitive. 11-year plan for Billy Donovan? No, I didn't understand why he was staying, why the Bulls didn't make a clean break from all of this a few weeks ago when Karnisovas was fired.
By the way, Billy Donovan and the Bulls finished above 500 one time. It was the 2021-2022 season, the only time they went to the playoffs in his 6-year tenure. Your thoughts?
He should have been sprinting from that organization. Real talk. Let's keep it real. The Chicago Bulls have been one of the biggest disappointments in the NBA. When you talk about when we talk about history, when we talk about big markets, when we talk about historic franchises, this is a team that has been dysfunctional all across the board. Like, they don't know if they're going or coming. They don't know who their leader are. They don't know who their franchise guy are. They gave up on Kobe White. They gave up on Ayo. He's balling, like you said, for Minnesota. What are y'all doing? Every single season is no in between. Right? It's either you're trying to rebuild or you trying to go for it all. But it seemed like with the Bulls, every single year, they're in the middle. And we got to start holding them to the same level that we hold the Boston Celtics to, the Los Angeles Lakers to. It's about championships. And I believe that the fan base, and y'all can tell me, y'all frustrated at this point.
Like, why, Perk, it's the first sustained period of irrelevance.
Yes.
When I was a kid and played this card, the Bulls were relevant. They didn't win, but they were 50-win-plus teams. They would lose. They couldn't beat Kareem and the Bucks. They couldn't beat the Lakers when the Bulls were in the Western Conference. Yes, boys and girls, the Bulls were in the Western Conference. And they couldn't bump through that ceiling. But they were never irrelevant. Then you had, of course, the Jordan years, where they're the opposite of that. They are the most relevant franchise maybe in any sport in the world. Then even you go through a few lean years, but you get Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose, yeah.
And it looks like, oh my God, this again, you've got relevance. You've got a young star who's an MVP at 21 years old. Mm-hmm. Derrick, of course, gets hurt. And since then, it's just been
we were in
the wilderness.
The LeBron sweepstakes.
It was, but they were in there against LeBron. There was a series in the conference finals against the Miami Heat and LeBron James, and if Derrick Rose is healthy, we play that game all the time. But now, the last 5 years, as you've mentioned, there was that moment with Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan and
Larry Market
and Ball and where it looked like, whoa, wait a minute, they were the 1 seed before Ball got hurt, which was amazing. And so we've come out of that, and now they have just been irrelevant, turning down draft picks at a time where they should have been looking at this rebuild 3, 4, 5 years earlier. How about Caruso could have gone to Oklahoma City for 2 first-round picks.
Right.
They said, no, again, that's not on Billy Donovan, but it seems like there were places where guys were developing Kobe White. And there were players you looked at, you said, okay, that's the mark of Billy Donovan. His time in college, understanding how to bring young players along, meaning, 2 national championships in Florida, and he had that. But lately, it has just been despair, and they are as irrelevant as any big market team in sports.
Like, trade deadlines have come and gone, drafts have come and gone, and I don't know how you feel. I just sit there like, the Bulls aren't going to do anything. Like, this whole Giannis discussion, like, they're now, albeit I know he has kind of pinpointed some cities, but Giannis supposedly had been walking around Chicago. You think anyone thought Giannis was going to Chicago?
No,
like, there's never been a free agent, a big fish that we feel like, meaning Chicagoans, feel like, they might want. Never. We've completely fallen off the boat in terms of that. Who's recruiting them? Who's wanting them to go? There's no positive because it's just been in this no man's land.
So the next hire, Shay, is not the most important hire, isn't the coach. And that will be important. The hire is who's going to run this thing.
100%.
Right.
Well, and so that's another place where, the Bulls have not had a big swing.
Yeah.
It's time to have one.
Wait a minute. The Bulls have not won a playoff series, by the way, since 2014.
Eastern, we got the Sixers and Celtics. Well, good for Boston. They lead 1-0 in the series after a 32-point win Sunday. Largest win in a playoff opener in the franchise's history. For Philly, Joel Embiid's health remaining the biggest question in that series after that appendectomy in Houston. Then at 8, it's the Trailblazers and Spurs. They tip things off. Victor Wembanyama put on a show in his playoff debut, becoming the first player in playoff history to debut with 35 points and 5 triples made. And then in the nightcap, it's the Rockets. Will try to even up the series against the Lakers. Kevin Durant will be a game-time decision after missing Game 1 with a right knee contusion at 37 years young. Let's talk about it. Perk, back on the program, and let's start, Perk, right there with the Rockets and the Lakers. Houston failing to reach 100 points in Game 1. How do they generate more offense in Game 2 tonight, especially if they don't have KD for another game?
Well, one, they got to hang their hats on the defensive side and get back to their identity and getting stops. But number 2, they got to go run their offense through Alfred Sengun and hope that they can make shots Alfred Sengun is one of the most promising bigs that we have in the game for its upside, and they got to continue to feed him. But overall, they got to get it done collectively. From Tari Eason, getting stops, getting out in transition and running. Their defense got to transition to their offense and easy buckets. That's the only way that they're going to have a shot to win in this game without Kevin Durant.
Speaking of promising bigs in the Western Conference, I think Victor Wembanyama checks that box as well. An impressive playoff debut. This his 3rd season, 35 points in Game 1. That is the most by a Spurs player in their playoff debut, previously held by Tim Duncan. What impressed you most about Wemby's performance in Game 1, Perk?
Well, the thing that has impressed me the most, not just in Game 1, but throughout the course of this season, is his growth. Being a big man and with guard skills, he has now embraced actually being a big man and being dominant. We saw in Game 1 that he was attacking the paint at first, finding ways to get to the basket, and then all of a sudden it opened up things for him on the outside, and that's the Wemby that you love, right? You want him to find that balance of inside out offensively. We know what kind of player he is defensively. That's why he got the Defensive Player of the Year award. But offensively, if he's going to dominate that in that fashion and have that balance, then it's going to be hell in hot water, not only in this series, but for the rest of the playoffs for everybody that he faces.
And it's interesting. I think you mentioned it and Wendy mentioned it. It wasn't even like a standard Wemby game because he had 35 points, but only in his standards, 5 boards and 1 assist. He normally averages nearly 12 boards a game. All right, to a player that's not in the playoffs this season, Perk, that would be Giannis. He posted this last night. Let's read between the lines. Year 13, this has been one of the toughest seasons of my career, but as they say, like a phoenix from the ashes, pregnant pause on purpose there, I'll rise to the city of Milwaukee, my city. Thank you for the unwavering love and support. Feels like a goodbye. I don't know, Perk. What do you make of what Giannis hit the internet with last night?
At this point, I don't even care. Like I'm over the top. No, seriously, I'm over the top with Giannis and the whole Milwaukee situation, man. I mean, like that whole situation is dysfunctional. It's confusing. Giannis don't really know if he's going or coming. At this point, if he stays in Milwaukee, good for him. If he don't, good for him. I don't even give a damn.
That reminds me of that meme that's like, congratulations, or I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm not reading all that. I'm not giving that any more attention. You're going to do what you're going to do, and either congratulations or I'm sorry that happened. Kendrick Perkins, we're always thankful for you, sir.